Hey, it's your favorite mortgage guy, Nate Carver with Between Two Doors. And today we're talking to Sandi Smith out of Panama City Beach, Florida. If you're looking to buy, sell a home in that area of Florida, I think you're going to enjoy this conversation. Hey, I'm Nate Carver, and welcome to Between Two Doors. Hey, Sandi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about
I'm
you?
doing good. I just flew back. I'm in Pensacola, and I got in this morning, so we're all set up in
Where'd you go? Mhm.
Texas. Christmas with the family, and my mom, and my
Awesome.
stepdad live out there, and so went out there and spent Christmas and New Year's with them, and it was a good time. And it's nice and sunny and cool here, so cold there. So anyway, I'm glad to be back.
I
So.
bet. I bet.
So tell me about yourself. You've had a phenomenal the past year. We're jumping in 2025 right now. In 2024, I think you had a fantastic year in real estate. I want to celebrate that with you. And I'd love to know when you got into real estate, and then what sparked that? What got you into real estate?
So realistically, I was a hairstylist back in Georgia. I had been at that point about 20 years in the industry and COVID happened. And so when we got sent home for 5 weeks during COVID, I was like, realistically, I didn't realize my body hurt until I was home for 5 weeks. And I was like, I always say, you don't know you feel bad until you feel better.
Hmm.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, my back doesn't hurt. My legs, aren't swole, just things like that that I would have from working long days behind the chair. And so I told my husband then, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this until I'm 65. And I was like, there has to be something else. I made over $200,000 a year doing hair. And I was like, there's got to be something else that I can do besides going back to be like a freaking doctor or something. I'm not book smart. So I was like, we had bought and sold a couple of things, and the process was interesting to me. I love like design, obviously, hairstylist, a house. It's all the same, right? No. Um, so I love to like look at a place and say, oh, you can do this to it, or like just the vision.
Hmm.
So kind of the process definitely, I would say, sparked an interest. Um, the commission amount that I would see that they made, a realtor made, I was
Hmm.
like, it's not bad money, not realizing how much it cost as well. If you want to
Right.
make money, you got to spend money. And so just several things. It wasn't like somebody said, oh, this is what you should do, or I I really like to say that it was the good Lord, just kind of opened that door. And I said, you know what? We had bought a place down here at the beach, and I had people ask me, um, how do we acquire a second home? You know, um, did we rent it out enough to pay for itself? All these questions. And I thought, well, clearly people are interested. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my license. I planned on still doing hair for like 25 years, but I ended up not because my business grew.
Hmm.
And so I just decided that I'd start helping others. And here we are.
Nice.
Yeah,
And there's some carryover from your time at being a hairstylist, your 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 demeanor, the way you treat people, and it's a different service industry, sure, but
sure. Absolutely.
you're definitely you definitely have people skills and
Yeah,
the ability to connect with people. Your hair gets cut wrong. That's a very high stress moment, right?
for
Buying a
sure.
house is a very high stress moment, or it can be if you get a good team put together as a good realtor and a good lender. You've got an opportunity to take a lot of the stress and chaos out of that whole process. So good for
For
you.
sure, for sure. I mean, but I feel like in today's world, everything, something happens in every transaction, I feel like. And it's just really one of my favorite sayings, and it's really basic and generic, but if there's a will, there's a way. We just got to
Hmm.
find the way to make it happen.
That's right. Good for you. So do you do more, I guess in the past years, more on representing home buyers or home sellers?
So, of course, to start with, so I've only been an agent for just over 3 years, so about 3.5 years now. Um, and obviously, to begin with, I feel like all agents really start working heavy with buyers. And you have to kind of uh, prove yourself to start getting listings. Then people are like, "Oh, I see her; she's doing good." I think I'll let her sell my house. And so now, this last year, I would say I was probably 60/40, probably still 60% buyers and 40% sellers.
Hmm.
Um, and so, in our industry, we feel like half and half is pretty good. I really do enjoy still working with buyers because I enjoy shopping. I always say, I'm spending somebody else's money. um, and so I like to, help people think outside the box, look at other things. What I mean? Some people go in thinking that they want a certain thing, but when you really, especially investment property, like here on the beach, I do sell just as many condos or short-term rentals, second homes as I do residential.
Hmm.
So, they think that they want a certain product, but when I tell people also, are you shopping with your heart or are you shopping with your head? Because either you have the money to pay for it or you need the money for it to pay for itself. So, I think just being transparent and having to show people with different things that they're interested in or not really how it will work for them or, is really crucial. I don't know. I just I like thinking outside the box and showing different options. And so sometimes people will come into the, market thinking, I want this, this, and this, but then they end up realizing that's not going to work for them. So it's just kind of
Yeah.
finding out their need.
Have you seen anything that in finding out those needs that's kind of been a trend? I know it's different for each home buyer, each family buying a home, but are you seeing things in Panama City Beach area that are kind of trending from your experience?
Well, when it comes to, I think anybody investing, if they're new to investing, they naturally think that it will completely pay for itself. And right now, with the rates the way they are, those properties are harder to find, especially because the values practically almost doubled, in 2022. Um, and so we are seeing some property values definitely come back down and normalize,
Hmm.
but the numbers still don't math. So it's really just educating people. Um, there are still profitable properties. If you have cash, absolutely, there's properties that will work for your money and give you a better return on investment than probably the bank. But it's just finding the right fit.
Right. So when you're dealing with people looking to buy a home, have you have you seen, I guess in your 3 years, yeah, any fun or memorable standout moments for you? Could be funny, could be what it was like the first closing, what that meant to you. I'd be interested to know that.
I do really like working with more first time investors because they're so eager to learn
Mhm.
and they don't know it all. I mean, we have three now, and we've acquired those in the last 4 years, and I learn something new all the time. Um, so I enjoy that most. And again, not funny, but it is like when they come into it, they're so stereotypical and think they know exactly what they want, but it's really nothing that would work for their needs. And so
Mhm.
I don't know, the whole educational process. But then, I mean, it's also fun to work for people that know exactly what they want, and money's not an option, and um, you know, finding more of a dream than a reality, you know?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen. Well, I've bought investment properties too, and whether you're a seasoned investor or brand new to it, you make your money on the purchase, and and then whether the rent is cash flowing or paying the note, that's a different conversation, but definitely it's one worth having. But giving that investor a full picture uh, of what they can expect is critical, and whether they're paying cash or doing financing. So how many investors are you working with now? And I'm curious how do investors find you?
So I work with a social media marketing company.
Hmm.
Um, they only work with one realtor per market area. So I am the Bay County um, affiliate with them, I guess you would say. Um, so through it, I run social media ads, and I do get leads through it, approximately 50 a month. Um, so I literally, for instance, I run one of my best ones that I run is waterfront home list. So it's
Hmm.
literally a list of homes, and for them to get that list of home, they have to give me their contact information. So they opt in, and either they submit it or they don't. They get it or they don't. Um, so through that, I'm able to reach out to them if I desire to. I typically we through it, there's an automated email that goes out. And after they engage in that is typically when I start engaging with them. I don't sit there and grind the phone. I do a lot of social media marketing, and I'm
Good.
very transparent, and I'm myself, very authentic. So most of my business truly comes from people reaching out to me. The homes that I list, they see the way that I market them, and that I have success. And so they actually reach out to me to list their home. As far as the buyers, they just like my personality. Um, they can tell I'm down to earth. I'm not no suit and tie kind of girl. So
Hmm.
I think they just feel comfortable and they reach out to me. Obviously, I'm outgoing. And so I feel like through my social media, I work with the people who are like me.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I like that. On when you're dealing with condos, are you seeing, like, on the lending world? I hear it from other loan officers that condos are brutal, painful. I haven't experienced that personally. But I got a
So,
great team. So I'm curious what things when it comes to buying or selling a condo that
okay.
would be red flags or things to
So
be aware of to make it
last
smooth.
Yes, in the last, 3 years, I guess you would say, since that condominium fell in Miami, that the new laws here in Florida
Right?
have affected the condos tremendously. The milestone inspection and whether they've had it or passed it or when they are due for it is one of the first things that when I'm working with somebody, I want to know.
Hmm.
After we get through that, if they've had the milestone inspection, they passed it, yay, they're safe for the next 10 years. You know, um, what their reserves look like. So to me, I try to work with them to profile out the condominium complex and make sure it is a safe investment for them before we even go there. If they
Hmm.
have not passed it, I'm pretty sure that they're going to have some special assessments. And to me, that's just setting them up for future debt.
Right.
And so those are some of the main questions that I start looking into. Like if it's, I try to be familiar with the majority. I mean, we've got so many. There's some that I still have never even shown in before. But we also have some that are so popular that I've been in multiple times and I just know where they're at.
Right.
So just knowing the right questions to ask and what's going on within the condominium market. But then we have so many that are no HOAs. Like we literally own two townhomes that have no HOA. one is second row to the beach, and one sits on Thomas Drive. So there's other options. Um, some people think mentally that a no HOA means it's going to be cheaper. Is not really the case because, you still have insurance in your HOA fees. That's one of the main things that it covers is the exterior insurance. But we can also paint our house the way we want to, personalize it, do things like that. So, there's a product for everybody. You just got to figure out what, the need is and just meet it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna shift gears on you. I'd love to know, um, what what do you love doing outside of real estate?
We love to travel.
All right.
We're leaving tomorrow to fly
Okay.
down to St. Thomas for a few days. Um, Before I became a realtor, I got timeshare points. And some people, when I say that now, because of being a realtor, they're like, oh my God, you're crazy. I always say if you use them and don't lose them, then it was worth your money. We travel and enjoy it. So for me, it wasn't a waste of money. Um, and then when the weather's beautiful, I hate the cold, so I really don't like being out and about when it's cold and windy, but when it's pretty, I say I moved here for a reason. I like to be sun-kissed and half naked. Put me on the beach somewhere.
Yeah, it's when you live in paradise, you know,
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah,
to
I
go
mean,
very far.
honestly, like what, 9 or 10 months out of the year here, I mean, we literally can be out there. We were out there the other day sitting on the beach. It was 72 degrees and beautiful. But when the sun starts to go down, it gets a little chilly.
Yeah, it's not so bad if the wind's blowing out of the south.
Sure.
Um, I think we're actually, it's a rumor. I don't believe it till I see it. We might get snow.
That's
Uh,
insane. I'm not
sometime
coming
real
home.
soon. It'll be gone by noon, but
Yep.
I'm not going anywhere because I know nobody knows how to drive in snow here. So
Right.
why would you? So, um, nice. Yeah. So St. Thomas, excellent. Um, all right. So world traveler and um 3 years in the real estate, and you're a top 1%er in Florida for sure. Definitely in the Panama City Beach area. Uh, just celebrate you've done the right activity in working and staying in contact and being personable as you are. And just I love it. I love that and wanted to celebrate your success and have you on the podcast. Um, so tell everybody, Sandi, how is the best way if they're looking to invest, buy a home, or sell a home in the Panama City Beach? What is the best way that they can get a hold of you, Sandi?
I like to say my telephone. I'm kind of an old mindset. I like to talk. So give me a call. I would say my cell phone. Either shoot me a text message, and if you'd rather get a phone call me, literally pick up the phone and call me. 229-326-2998.
There you go. All right, everybody, there you have it. Thank you, Sandi, for meeting with me today on Between Two Doors. You're just a fun person to know, and really enjoyed talking.